Hello, hello, aloha. 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 Is it working? Are we live? Are we alive? Good morning. What's today? Tuesday. Tuesday already. Take my glasses off 5 minutes. How are you? Good morning. Aloha. I wonder where aloha aloha, aloha, aloha. I think I'm going to start saying aloha. Why not? Come on in. Good morning. Come on in. Grab a seat. It's colouring. We're in Hawaii. Week 2. Cool. I tell you what, I wish we were. Well, we are. We are. I just got to tell you. There we go. We're there. It's raining here today. Good morning. Come on in. It's all lovely and warm inside, and outside it's raining in the southeast of England. Where are you? Where are you located? Where are you? Are you in England? And if you are, is it raining where you are? It's quite nice actually, isn't it? Just a bit of... makes me feel more secure. How weird is that? Now, to me, when it's hot and the sun's shining, I get anxious. Rather than happy, I get anxious because I think of people all piling into the beaches and into crowded places. Isn't that crazy, you know? We used to get excited when the sun came out in England because it's quite a rare occasion, wasn't it? Quite a rare experience back in the day. And now I panic when the sun's shining. Ja, so ist das Leben. Come on in, grab your tea. I can see some movement, so I know I'm not on my own. Stuart's in the building with us this morning. Well, he's in the building with you. So if you have any questions, Stuart is the person to ask. It's 3 minutes to 10. And I'm sure that Stuart will tell me if the sound is good. Can you hear me all right? New batteries. We're good to go for the rest of the week now. Yeah, all fine. All fine. I woke up this morning with a stonking headache. And I thought, wow, you know, that's the second day that I've had a bad headache. I thought, what's all this about then? And I thought, is it the weather? Is it stress? Is it worry? You know, you go straight to disaster zone. Is there something wrong with me? and then about an hour ago, I thought, because I'd already had some pills and I hadn't touched it, I thought, what is it? What is it? It's something that I'm doing differently. And then I realised I haven't drunk any tea like proper English brew Yorkshire, because I'm trying to lose some weight. I decided to go on a diet. Right? The lockdown hasn't been kind to my body. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not alone. But when it all kicked off in March, I thought, I'm always trying to be good and not eat chocolate and not eat cake. And then I thought, sod it. Trouble is, I thought sod it for about 3 months. Put off. I bet I'm not alone though. Come on, hands up. Who thought sod it for about 3 months and now you're thinking, God, I can't go out. Good job we can't go out, really. So yesterday I thought, back to the story, yesterday I thought, right, no carbs. I'm going on a no carbs week, right? Healthy mind, healthy body, all that stuff. I thought, yes, this is what I'm going to do. And I've been building up to this Monday because I thought, yes, Monday's the day. I'll start the diet on Monday. And so yesterday I had beetroot and tinned pilchards and just steering away from all carbs and milk in my tea. So chamomile tea, I thought, yes. Last night I was so hungry. I was so hungry and I was determined not to eat before I went to bed because that is my biggest issue, you know. Come on in. I thought I'm waffling. It's okay, you haven't missed anything. It's all right, it's 10 o'clock, I've got to take. So I sat there all evening. And when Dave went to the wholesalers a month ago, he also came home It's like a bucket of gherkins. We like the gherkins. Wir lieben die Gurken, right? So he brought this great big bucket of kühne Gurken. And last night, I just kept eating gherkins until I was full up. I must have had about 8 of them, like the whoppers. No wonder I've got a headache. It's probably a gherkin headache. You probably I OD'd on gherkins. Bloody game this is. Right, come on. Good morning. Safe, happy and creative. That's what we are here in the Shack. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Are you up for colouring in today? It's all a bit different this week, but do you know what? There isn't a rule book. We write the rule book, and we just go with the flow. And last week, in case you're wondering, in case you didn't make it yesterday, last week we went to Hawaii and we loved it so much we decided to stay another week, and we decided to hang on to our artwork, finish our artwork. We did our hula girls yesterday. So there you go. Could be worse. I could have to wear a grass skirt and perform in front of a crowd. At least I've only got the telly on Sunday. I can do it from the safety of my shack. Apart from that, you only ever see that bit, look. You have no idea what's going on under here. It's all right. It's all right. It's just chunky. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, we are in the Shack and we're colouring, and we're in Hawaii because we loved it so much we're staying another week. All right, enough of the waffle, let's get going. Normally what we do 1 week doodle, 1 week colour, 1 week doodle, 1 week colour. But hey, listen, my nan always said rules were made to be broken. So usually what we do is we have a postcard. We pick a postcard, any postcard, don't we? And the week before last, we did those beautiful, here we go, look. Let's have a little recap. I love a recap because it tells us where we're headed. See there, the first postcard we did, God, do you remember the nuthatches? They were glorious, weren't they? I love them. We got some tree creepers in the garden now too. And then we did the cockadoodle doodles. Do you remember them too? They were lovely. The Dotty and Spotty. Then we did the mandarin ducks. They were lovely. They were lovely. And then it was so interesting because as soon as I started getting photographs, people said, there's one in our pond in the village. And how strange is that, hey? Then we did the hummingbirds, and we took inspiration from Dee's, lovely Dee's beautiful work with the blacking out and the blending. Yeah, I like it half finished. This is like an unfinished symphony. Not done yet. And then next time we'll go to the owls. I think we definitely want to go to the owls. But that's a ways away yet. We're not there yet. However, so these are the postcards. But however, we decided, right, to hang out in Hawaii and colour in our own work. And so we also gave you a digital download, just in case you hadn't joined in or you're new. So if you go to claritystamp.com, it's not too late. I waffle so much, honestly, by the time you've printed it out. Now, what I did as well, and I don't know if others had this idea, instead of going on copy paper, I went on a kind of a thicker, nicer, it's just thicker, nice card. And I ran that through my printer. So I've got, yeah, and that's why I tested it, because I thought, well, hang on a minute, that's all well and good, but if you can't colour in on it, then not so good, hey. So this is my tester sheet, where we're going. I thought, yes, I was just checking out some colourways and that, because I thought what would be really nice today, well, not today, this week, would be to try and get a kind of a retro. You know, when you look at old, if you think about Hawaii, if you imagine those old retro photos, you know, or the old the postcards, they've got that lovely vintage, very, very en vogue now, isn't it? So that's what we're doing. And what we're going to use, well, I'm going to concentrate primarily on my polychromos. I like the polychromos, the Faber-Castells. because we sell a tin of them, don't we? Tin of 60. So I've got them going. Ta-da! And then also we've got the pergoliners, because we own Pergamano. Did you know? Yes, we do. For better or for worse, we own this company. So we've got the pergoliners, which are really nice. We're going to use the B pencils or the polychromos. Faber-Castell, the best. In my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. I've worked with Faber-Castell all my life, since I was a young girl, and they are, you get what you pay for. There you go. But we've got a good price on the website. Now, let's have a look. Shall we get started? And what I did was I picked out a selection of colours that I thought, I mean, you know, you're good at this stuff now. You're good at this stuff. But I picked out a kind of a selection, and I thought we could start easy on the hibiscus. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. So I just picked a selection, and I thought we'd start on the hibiscus. And Stuart, I tell you what, love, what you could do is just take a piece of paper and write down the names, because although I could say pick a pencil, any pencil, just pick a red, often our friends want to know exactly which pencil I used, especially if we're trying to get this retro look. There is if you have a look at that, right, isolate that in your mind's eye like that, you can see these colours are they're very vintage, you know, they're just, so perhaps we should concentrate on which particular colours. So I used, for the geranium, there you go, there's your clue. For the hibiscus, I used pale geranium lake. There you go, so the number's 121. Because apparently, what they have done is they've changed the names of some of the, maybe they're not PC, I don't know. Like flesh, they don't call it flesh anymore now. Somebody obviously complained. Cool, I've got a story about that. I'm going to make a mental note. Story about somebody complaining. Yeah, I remember that in LA, about a complaint. See if I remember to tell you one day. It was all about the flesh. Yeah, she didn't know what hit her. Right, so let's have a look. Pale geranium lake, that's the one we're going to use. And let's start, shall we, on the hibiscus. Are you ready to rock and roll? Are you up for this? Yeah? What else are we going to do? Come on. This is our 1 hour of indulgence, isn't it? For me, that's what it is. At the moment, life is a grind for me. It's a grind. I'll be straight with you. It's just like nose to the grindstone, and it's hard collar from the minute I open my eyes until I go to sleep. And that's just, I have to accept that if I want clarity to survive, you know. But this hour when we hang out is just like, I love it, okay. And I think it's about adjusting your thinking. You know, if we have to acceptance is the key to all our problems today. You know, we have to accept that this is the way it is. And so, you know, we said it many times, when life gives you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. And so today, what we're doing is we're making the most of what is really not a great situation. But we get grateful because we're okay, we're safe, we've got a roof over our heads, we've got a load of mates that all like colouring, and if we're really, really lucky, we've even got a tin of pencils. Okay, and if we're really, really, really lucky, they're polychromos. Woohoo! Right? So you want your geranium lake, and then we're going to get in the zone. All right, just for this hour, it'll be lovely. And then after that, I'll worry about that. But today, this is where we are, out of our heads, with our hands, colouring in hibiscus with geranium, believe it or not. Right, but what I will do is I'll get in tighter. Let me just get in tighter. Oh, hang on, glasses. I can't see the knobs. Hang on. Oh no, further away. In. Burning the bolt. Come on. There you go. That'll do, hey? Have you printed out, or are you using your original? Are you using your original? piece of artwork? Hey? Or are you using practicing a practice sheet? Either's good. All I've done is I've put a piece of copy paper up behind. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving my, because I sharpened my geranium. Now I've got to flatten my geranium. I'm making a chisel. Yeah. And what you'll see is, right, I can press really hard and get a really dark, or I can go really lightly, or I can go from hard to light. See? And then you go back over and again. And the more you go over in the same area, the darker it will get, obviously. I mean, I'm teaching you to suck eggs now. You can do little circular motions. You can do circulatory colouring. It's a long word. Little circles, right? Or you can do flicks, feathery flicks like that, right? Like that. You can see on my mat I've got a cut, and the cuts actually it's like the Princess and the Pea. You can actually see it's like etching, right? So the light feathery strokes like that. You can do cross hatching, right, which is feathers that way, and then feathers the other way. So that's quite solid then, right? There are 3 different things involved here. There's pressure. There's the surface that you're using, and there's the pigment. And that combination, you've got so much control of what you do. So that's just a little catch up, and now we're going to go in for the flower. And what I want to do is I want to put this on here. I'm just leaning. This is a groovy guard. You can take a piece of paper and cut a hole in it, do what you like. But we just have these groovy guards because we use them for parchment as well. And it's, see, when you're doing parchment work with loads of needles, the parchment, if you don't hold it down, it will kind of buckle, it will blouse all the needles. When you pull them out, it pulls the parchment with it. And so that's why we have this groovy guard with a hole in it. That's the reason. For all those of you who are not parchers. Right, here we go. So I'm going to go around the edge. Let's just chill, shall we, and have some downtime. Downtime. There you go. Lovely. Let's just go around the edge first. Oh, the green's straying in. There we go. Lightly, lightly, lightly. We're going to go in layers. You'll be experts at this because we did a fantastic job of this with Dee's hummingbirds, didn't we? See, I tend to turn the artwork towards so that I'm always... You just get comfortable, don't you? It's whatever's comfortable for you. See, what we're trying to avoid is a great big stripe. Yeah, you don't want like a band of red around the outside. So you do light circular motions so that you're getting in on the actual edge of the... There we go. I love the sound of rain outside. I really do. And for some reason it gives me a real sense of security at the moment. I don't know what's going on. Is it the same for you, or is it just me? Right, so you see now, so we've gone round, and now what I want to do now is just come in a bit more, like so, and I'm just going to come in a bit further. I'm going over the same area, but this time I'm flicking. See? So as I flick, I'm bringing that red up a bit further. See? But I'm flicking it into the centre because I want to almost create veins. Look, do you see what I'm doing? Up we go. I'm going to leave a little bit of white here, like a band. Let me show you, if I show you my practice one. You see what I've done? See, it's lighter in the middle, so it's darker in here, and it's darker around the outside, and then it's lighter here, isn't it? So it gives you that kind of effect. Yeah? Right. I'm going round so fast, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm just going to start spiralling a bit. Right, here we go. So round we go, and then This will work. Right, so we've got in and we've done 2 layers now, all the way around. I'll try and remember to stay in focus. Sorry about that. Right, and then you can come in a little bit more around the edge again. Circular. And you'll see it starts to get, it's the layers that do it. And then on the inside as well, let's just go around the inside as well. So now we're getting a, do you see? It's easy, isn't it? So that's a really nice I like. So let's do the other hibiscus. Oh, have you got loads of them on yours? I've only got the 2. So let's go around again. See, the thing about this is, it is about the downtime, isn't it? And I tell you what I did do, because I make notes, don't I? I make little prep notes every day. And this morning, I looked at the notes. I tell you why, because I wanted to figure out, I've lost track of how many weeks we've been in here together. And then I realised it's 14 weeks, right? But to do that, I had to go back to the beginning of my notes. And I looked at my notes when we were in lockdown, like big time, when it was like a crisis. You know, it was like, oh, all hold hands, say a prayer. You know, it was that point. And it was interesting because the words that I wrote down were discipline, resilience, that we needed to have a routine, right? Do you remember? We talked about having our daily routine, and I talked about every morning I've got to have my yogurt. Do you remember Dave with his bucket of yogurt? Bucket of gherkins, I know. We still get the yogurt as well. But the point I'm making is, right, at that point we were talking about having routine. My dad, you know, he was talking about knowing exactly what you're doing every morning when you wake up. And what's happened, and I can only speak for myself, but maybe you just need to take a check, a rain check as well. Take a moment out to think about this, right? Because what's happened is, as things have started to relax with the government guidelines, so my routine has gone out the window. And not that my life, you know, I'm still in here 90% of the time, but for some reason I've been less. I don't know. It's like we went from red alert to yellow or something, to amber, right? And something in my head said, oh, okay, emergency's over now, so I don't need to worry so much about my levels of resilience, or, you know, my routine, or my breakfast every morning, or my yogurt and my nuts and my vitamins, you know, whereas before that was what was keeping us going, was that. Do you get what I mean? And so when I read those notes, when I read back on my notes, I thought, well, do you know, that could have to do with why I'm so all over the place. Because I am all over the place. Because I'm not practicing my routine. I'm not doing. Right, now, let's have a look at this. So we've got these colours in now. We've got this, we're still using the same red. Let's just stop waffling a minute, Gray. And what I want to do, see if you can, if you nuzzle in like this, let's just try. What we want to do is take a bit of white so you can see. If you've got, let's pretend that's the side of the flower, right? And we've gone, I'll do it large so you get it. So we've done a little bit like that around the edge, haven't we? And then let's just try to see what I'm up to, right? So I've done that much, say. And then what I want to do, because it's very light at this point, but now I want to put a light a light piece. So this is here. Now I've got choices. I could take a rubber. I could take my eraser if I had one. I wonder where my rubber's gone. Well, how can you function in here without a rubber grey? Wow. She's feeling confident. Right, anyway, so you could rub it out, couldn't you? Make a line with the rubber. Or if you go in, let's look, watch. If I go in and I flick that side of the white area, so I flick there, and then I leave a white gap, right? I leave a gap and I come in. You can leave a big gap to start with. It looks a bit stripy to begin with, but you can tighten it up. Now, do you see? Now, if I want to, I can take the sharper side of my pencil and I can come in and I can tighten that white line up. And then it becomes, see? So that's what we're trying to do, is create like creases in the flower. Not creases properly, but light. So it looks like the light's hitting it in different places. Like, and you can get in tight like that. There you go. See what I mean? Can you see that up close? Let's see if we can get in up. Excuse this if it works, great. If it doesn't, there. See what I'm doing? There you go. We did a little bit of this on those lovely flowers and these work, didn't we? Let's try it again. So you can take your let's have a look. I want to put one in there. So I'm going to get in there, darker, like that. And I'm flicking up, like so. Then I'll leave a gap, and then I'll come again. But I keep going towards the centre. See? So I'm creating a lot. Oh, now I need a rubber. Let me just have a look. I must have a rubber here somewhere. Let me just have a little mooch. Ooh. You'd think, wouldn't you, that Barbara would have a rubber. I've got all the white ones. Look, they're out. No, I want a red end. There we go. We do sell these, you know. The white ones are great, but they're not there for parchment. Right, now, where did I go? I went over the edge. Obviously not that dramatically. Am I just being anal? There you go. Yeah, so you can get in and you can go really tight. There you are. And you can really start to... There's another white line. So you can get some really good shading going here. There you are. Nice, huh? And you just keep going and flicking towards the centre of the flower. Just keep flicking towards the centre. And you know, like I flip my pencil so it goes from the flat. But doesn't that look pretty, what we're doing here? Do you see? But if it's already 20 past and we've spent... It's all right, though. Do you know what? It doesn't matter, does it? If we spend an age on the... It's not a race. It's not a performance. We just want to get tricks. Different tricks and tips. Look, doesn't that look pretty, though? The way that we're filling that out. Do you see how you get that? See, and then what I'm doing now is I'm turning the pencil around so it's a sharper rather than the flat. And then I can flick coming out. But check the difference between this and this. You see? So you just take the sharper, come out of the centre. And if you don't like what you've done, then you take your eraser and you can erase it straight away. Let's have a look. Let's just do one, and then you can always finish the second one. But let's just get these lovely white pleats. When you do parchment art, like Linda, Williams and, you know, that beautiful artwork. What we're doing here really is with Parchment, you would do the opposite. You would be introducing the white area. So I'm just thinking in reverse now. You see? So I would be using, like if I was doing Parchment art, I would be using the stylus on Parchment, and then when I rub it, when I stroke the Parchment, it goes white. So you introduce the whiteness. It's you can colour in. You can use the polychromos. You can do this on what I'm doing here on Parchment too, right? But then what you do is you can enhance the whiteness by flipping the Parchment over and then introducing the white areas rather than just avoiding them like this. You can enhance them amazingly on Parchment by flipping over and just stretching the Parchment gently. It's actually a really lovely art form. We've got some fantastic. I don't know if you're new to clarity, and you're looking for a new arty pastime. Parchment art's pretty spectacular. You ought to check out the groovy system. It's pretty cool. It's great. And we do a free digi download every Friday, don't we? And Linda's started doing for the more advanced. I mean, the digi downloads on Friday, they're brilliant for beginners. They just hit the spot, I think. Hang on a minute, let me just check. They really hit the spot for beginners. Just marvellous. And then Linda on the Pergamano website, she's started introducing the multi-needles and showing us loads of beautiful tricks. It's quite spectacular when you see what you can do with these multi-needle tools. It's amazing. Just crazy. And like Linda, she says to me, I haven't even touched the sides yet with what you can do with this little tool. And you know, to take a tool, just a load of little needles, and then just, it's crazy really. The talent, what humans are capable of in a positive way, what they're capable of in a negative is pretty astounding as well. But when you look at what we can do, what we're capable of, it's crazy, isn't it? There. Doesn't that look bright? It's interesting, isn't it, how you can create that three-dimensional effect, eh? So I'll leave that for now, that one. You like? There you go. It's lovely to do. It's a real... You could take a pencil and you could colour it in and it'd be bright red and yeah, lovely, you know. But what we're doing here is trying to relax the mind. And the way to relax the mind is not to worry about project finish. You know, oh, I've got to get it done, got to get it done. That's not... The idea is that if you focus on a particular technique or a trick, then it will take you, it just takes you out of that got to finish it job, and you just, it's about the process. It becomes about the process. You know, it's not about getting to the top of the mountain, it's about the climb. It's about enjoying the journey rather than the destination. I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but you know what I mean. Right, make sure your neck's not getting all stiff. Have a sip of tea and then we'll start on the leaves, shall we? We're going to be here another fortnight, you know. No, be all right. Be fine. Just giving you little tips and tricks. So now you know that's just an idea with the flower. Then you can build on that and just carry on with that, right? Now let's have a look at the leaves. So, are you ready for the leaves? I'm going to finish that later. Or not. I've got to concentrate on the TV stuff, to be honest. Right, now the leaves, I've got loads of different colours going on here. Let's have a look at my... See, I love that colour. I just love this colour. And I haven't even put veins in or anything. I just left them just like that. I could have put veins in. I could have really got busy and taken, you know, like every single one of these is an opportunity to do shading. Do you see what I mean? I could come in like that with the grey over the top and create veins. Well, you still could if you want. Nothing's written in stone. Just gentle grey over the top if you choose to. But let's concentrate on the colour. That's what I'm more interested in. So let me get rid of these ones because we're not going to use those that's for the water. So what we need is yellows and greens. So whatever box you're using, it's yellows and greens. And I'll start by putting down, I'm just going to use a nice light green. There you are. That's what it's called. Well, obviously the person naming these got bored. Right, light green, 171. And in the pergoliners box, let's have a look. You've got a lovely light green in the B pencils on the pergoliners. I know this. Yeah, there it is. B7. Lovely. That's the one you're after. B7. And then down the road, you're going to use B6 next to it. B6, B7, and B8. Behave and be nice. Right. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put a really nice light coat, exactly like we did before. Where's my scrap that I was using? There we go. So just get a nice flat going again because it's easier to get a gentle. So we're going to use the light green. Okay. Woo! Sorry. Right, cool. So around we go, around the edge. This won't take long. Just a real light green. Let's do it all over. You can barely see it, but it's there. Look at the difference. Right, so we've got a nice... When you get to Hawaii, the colours are spectacular. When we went, on Maui, there's a pass called the Hana Pass, and it's like a really windy road, and I mean seriously, it's not for the faint-hearted, and it's like a serpentine road, and it snakes around the waterfalls and it snakes around the coastline, but it goes up and down and round, and it is pretty hairy, scary, especially down the lower end. It gets quite dangerous, actually. I know when we went a couple of years ago, not last year, but when I went with Steve and Dave, my brother and Dave, and I was driving, because if I didn't drive, I was just going to be sick, and I don't do well in the back of the car. Well, clearly my brother doesn't either, because he's never been so quiet. He'd never been so quiet. I don't know whether it was my driving or what, but he was very, very subdued. But the colours, the flowers, when you stop, and the waterfalls, the colour of the water, and the surrounding, and the leaves and the trees, and it's just crazy. It's tropical. It's just beautiful. You know, you just have to see it to believe it, really. It's like nothing we have in this country, and it's the colours. It's just amazing, and a lot of it has to do. Well, yeah, exactly. A lot of it has to do with the rain. So you see, so we've got this kind of undercoat now on the leaves, and then I think what I'll do is I'll take a darker green. So I know this one looks a little bit. Oh, well, it's called leaf green. So let's go with the leaf green. So we've used the light green and now we're going to go with the leaf green. So I'm going to get my flat again. This is just my tester. This is where I'm practicing. And so, right. It's not me original. I hope it isn't. That wouldn't be great. No, look, I'm still on. I haven't got to them yet. Right. It's all right. I've got a plan. Now, with the dark green, what we want to do is go in around the edge and underneath, so it looks like it's behind the flowers, because that's what it is. So we're, instead of using a grey, we'll go in with a green. So we'll go in here with a green, like that. Just get a flat going. There we are. Then we'll just go in with a little bit of light. Not too dark. Just get that. So you're just running over the top behind the flower, you see. That works. And just a little bit round the edge. This one's behind that one, isn't it? We happy? Are you okay doing this? Grace and her fella Mark, they went off yesterday for the first time out of New York, out of the city. They decided, because it's Independence Day on the 4th, so I said to Grace, take a few days off. So they went off to somewhere 2 hours north of New York anyway. And clearly everybody had the same idea, because she sent me a picture and it was teeming with rain. It was really coming down, and she was just stuck in massive traffic. It's like, oh, Grace. Yeah. It's the trouble, isn't it, when you live in a city? You want to get out, so does half the city. I'm quite happy to stay at home, really. Maybe it's because we're getting older. What do you think? I'm not fussed about. You know, I heard on the news yesterday that everybody wants to go abroad. It's like, well, I'm not sure about that. I'll park that. I'm very lucky, again, grateful, that I did so much travelling as a, you know, I've always, you know me, if you do know me, you know I tend to get around, so to speak. I definitely do. I've been all over, you know. I'm lucky. Right, see how we're building up the colour underneath the... This is nice, isn't it? But you don't want to press too hard, though, because if you press too hard, then what will happen is you're going to... A couple of things happen. First of all, you create kind of a sheen with the waxy, oily pencil. And the other thing is that there's... You flatten the paper. The paper's got no more texture to catch the pigment. If you flatten it, it's like ironing it. You know, you've burnished it, if you like. If you burnish it, doesn't that look pretty though? Hey, nice and bright. So we're going around the edge a little bit with that dark colour, aren't we? Right, and then let's have a think, because if you look at this leaf here, right, rather than put the shade on this side, put the shade on that side, just a little bit. But you'll see if you do that, there you go. So the sun or the light is hitting the leaf, but it's hitting this side of the leaf, isn't it? And this is tucking in a little bit. So this is going to be darker. That's all. And then this is going to be darker. That I'm not so fussed about. This one, this is going to be, if this is the top side, depends. It depends. You decide. In my head, that's the side that needs a bit of shadow. There. You're the artist of your work, not me. Put a bit of shadow down that side. And this one, the light's there, I think. I'm going to put a bit of shadow on that side. Just down there. Hey? Cool, it's coming together, isn't it? This one here, it's darker under there though, isn't it? I'm loving doing this. And the thing is, I know, I look at it and there's a little voice in my head, and I think it's the workaholic in me, and the you know, because I'm so used to ploughing through artwork and 10 minutes on the telly, that's all you get, and blah blah blah. And so for me, this is a real to stop and look and just enjoy the process is a very different thing. Now, what we want to do next is add that vintagey colour. You see that yellowy vintagey colour? So we've got choices now. I'm going to use two different colours. There's one called Strohgelb, straw yellow, which I think it's cream, right? This is cream. And it's 102. So you want a kind of a mellow yellow. And then there's another one, which is Naples ochre, 184. You want a light yellow and a dark yellow, basically. But this is almost like this is the one that will give you that retro-y look. Because if you think about it, think about a 50s dress. You can see this, can't you? You know that colour will be in it. It's that, like avocado, you know that colour. So what we'll do is, we'll take the light colour and we'll just put like all over we'll go over the whole lot really gently, just to tone down the white, this is. It just takes out the white. Look, see how it changes it? Let's do that. There you go. Yeah, so much as I have a hankering to go back to Hawaii, certainly not anytime soon. If ever again now, really. The reality is. Do you know, I was talking to Linda Williams the other day, and she said she's a nurse. She's a retired nurse, Linda. You know, our Parchment queen. And she said the bottom line is, until we find a vaccination, it's not over, is it? And even then, and that takes a long time to develop something like that. So let's just hang out together a bit longer. Right, so we've done an undercoat with that lovely creamy, the light yellow. And then this one, what we'll do now is, we'll just go, let's just have a look. Let me have a little experiment. Yeah, just a little flash of darker colour. There we are. This is that ochre. Just nice, look. A bit round there. Just tones down the greeny, the leaf, you know, that leafy green, which is a little bit, isn't it? A bit leafy. There you are. So you can just add a little flash of that yellow. Doesn't have to be. There you go. Doesn't that look cool? Now you can change. You can chop and change. I'm actually not that partial to that leafy green. It's always been a colour that I've avoided, and it's never been a colour that I've really gone for in inks and stamps either. And yet, when you actually use it together in tone like this, I quite like it. Right, but we're not pressing hard. Do you see? We're still not pressing hard. Right, last finishing touch. What have we got here? Grey. You need a grey pencil. If you haven't got a grey pencil, use a HB pencil. Or, because this is another thing that we do, I mean, come on, all you doodlers, treat yourself to a set of these. These are the artist's lead pencils. Look, fantastic. Different levels of softness. B for black, 2B, see, H for hard, 2H harder. You got 4B, 5B, 6B, 7B, 8B. 8B is really soft. I've got 5B in my hand. See, these are great for drawing, but they're also great for shading. So say you've got the pergoliners. Trouble with the pergoliners is there's not a grey in there. There's a black, you could go really lightly, but there isn't a grey. But if you combine it with these, boom, you've got your grey. So I could use that, and I can add my shadow over the top. See, because what we're going to do now is get depth, so that this looks like it's underneath that one. I'm going to use my grey pencil, as in my Faber-Castell. Right, so here we go, look. And you could you watch how you change it now. it goes really, really, I love it. I love it. Me with my O-level art, look, get excited about this. But yeah, I know you do too. I know you do. When you get that, you think, I did that. Look. And I have to say, it's all about time. Time, pressure, pigment, and what what you're actually using in the background. See, this is nice. The postcards are a nice quality. That we use. They're a very nice quality card, and so they're really a treat to colour in. That's why we called them artist quality. Right, here we go, look. So we're just going to add a little bit of, because it's behind, and we want to make it look like it's behind, we've got to add shadow. Doesn't that look great? It looks like a print. And I know there's a little bit to go. If we've spent an hour doing that, oh lordy, lordy. But yeah, but hey ho, where are you going? It's raining. We've already decided we're not going out. So happy days. Look, I was going to do today. Look at me, Joker. I was going to do the bamboo. I was going to do the girls, the water. Just about got the hibiscus done. But that's all right. What we'll do tomorrow, when we get together, we'll do the bamboo. We're going to do that side, right? Yes. Let's do the bamboo tomorrow. And then we'll start on these girls. Bamboo's quite straightforward. We'll get a good result quickly. It's not as, don't have to be as pedantic. I mean, these are centre stage as well, having said, right? They are bang in the middle, aren't they? So you want to kind of, yeah. So you're just establishing depth here. That one's behind that one. So we're going to put a bit of shadow there. And I'm just using the real light flat of the, if I want it to be darker, I can go back, but I'm using the chisel end, the chisel side. And we just go in there. So there's a lot of layering going on. We didn't realise when we drew these. Thing is, we've all got different artwork, haven't we? Unless you're using a printout. And if you're going to use a printout, see if your printer can take some nice card. See if you can print, instead of onto copy paper, treat yourself to printing the digital download onto some nice card. Do you know, this has done me the power of good, this. I don't know about you, but it so has. Right, let's just see if we got there. I'm going through a phase at the moment where I can't find anything. I keep looking for stuff and I can't find it because I put it in a safe place, and I find that, I don't know, mildly irritating. There you go. It's not a calamity, is it? It's just mildly irritating. But it's really irritating if you want it for a TV show and you can't find it. Never mind. So ist das Leben. There'll be a reason why I can't find these things, because I'm obviously not supposed to. Do you agree? Doesn't this look nice? How's yours looking? Are you pleased with it? And then, when you've laid down all the colour that you want, right, this is where you could turn if you want to make it a bit bolder, you turn round on the sharp side now, because you've been using the flat, so you would have created, if you turn it 180 degrees, there'll be a sharp side. And now you can go in. Do you know, I've just realised I haven't used my Dame Edna's. I wonder if I've got a headache. Right, now, oh yeah, that's better, actually. Right, and now I can go right in like so, and I can make it really get tight in on the black, on the line, see? and it will, you're almost going along the line. Right, there you go. Just in like that with the dark end. Just flip the pencil round, that will help a lot. That looks so cool. Right, I've still got to do that flower, but I'll do that later, right? So we've got that lovely, right, last finishing trick, blending tool. I mean, to be honest, you can leave it like that because this is done so nicely. We've spent such a long time on it that you probably don't even need, right? But let's just say we wanted to. This is where these blending tools, just dry, don't need. Once you've decided you've laid down enough colour, then if you want to, if you go over the top, what you're doing is you're just moving the pigment in and it will stop it. It goes from being grainy to smooth as butter. See? It makes such a difference. If I just, it makes it look like a watercolour painting. There you go. So you can see already the difference between that one and that one. As soon as I go over the top of it, it just pushes the pigment around, really smooths it all out nicely. There you go. So we just do that on the flower. I've used one of the nibs for that. So that's my red one. Then I need a green one. A green nib. I've got loads, just not the right one. Let me use a yellow one then. Oh no, blue. Because the thing is, there's a yellow one, that'll do. That'll be nice. Right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to come in from here and I'm just going to smooth out all these colours so that it doesn't, yeah, what a difference. There you go. Just brings in the shade so it looks, yeah, I love it. Right, so it just tones in all the different colours. It brings all the yellows and the greens together. Nice. I know a lot of you have bought these already. I hope you're enjoying them. So they do half make a difference, don't they? There you go. Chill. So do me a favour, if you get a chance to just like, follow and share, that'd be great. If you're not getting our newsletter, ask Stuart. He will give you, because he's the guy that writes them. He's the guy that sends them. You know, it's a really great way to kind of stay in touch and get your notifications every time we do a digi download, or we've got a TV show on, or you know, the newsletter is a great way to be in touch with what's going on at Clarity, because there is a lot going on now. You know, there's a lot of inspirational stuff, a lot of free downloads. There's lots of stuff going on, and if you want to be sure to be up to date, then the newsletters, the e-shots are the way to go. There you go. Doesn't that look nice? Cool. Hey? Could do a bit more, couldn't you? But you got to know when to stop, haven't you? You've got to know when to stop. What do you think? Are we pleased with that? I know, all that. 2 flowers and a couple of leaves. But it's all right. It's all right. It's zen, you know. And we've learnt some really nice, the retro colours, really lovely, the way you blend. And you'll notice that ochre, it's that dirty yellowy colour. That's the one that just, it puts like, it's almost like, not a sepia, but it's like a vintage overlay. It's nice. It's very nice. 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 Let's have a look up close and see if we can see what we've done up close. There. It looks as if it's lying on the page, doesn't it? You wouldn't think that was flat. Yeah, cool. So much as we've We haven't done much, we've done loads. Haven't done much, we've done loads. Everybody happy? Are you okay? Yeah? I think we'll call it a day because there's no point in rushing into the next phase. So what you could do between now and tomorrow, let's have a look, shall we? What you could do tomorrow is finish your flowers, because I know many of you had flowers in different places, didn't you? Yes, you did. So what you could do is the lays. You could do the lays, couldn't you? They're not hard. Do the lays. Leave the bamboos. We'll do them together because I've got some tricks to show you with the bamboos. Do the lays. All right? That's a good one. And you could, I mean, you're going to use whatever colours you want. But let me show you. Let's have a look. What's the time? 5:02? Let me just check. Is it 5:02? Yeah. Do the lays. Let's not get hung up on this. It's the journey, not the destination, right? Yes. Do the hibiscus. Do anything flowery that you've got on your picture. Okay. Maybe the cheese plant leaves. You could have a go at them. Same but different. Bit darker. See if you can make them a little bit darker. I reckon that would be great. Yeah. Those are the colours that I'm going to recommend that I used. We'll go through it one more time just in case. Geranium Lake for the red. Then I used that cream colour, 102. Then I used the light green, 171. Then I used the dark green, 112. And then I used the dark Naples ochre, 184. And if you know, I feel that you pick your own colours. Your hibiscus might be a different colour, but I do know that some of you really want to know, and that's part of the learning curve for you, isn't it? And also, I think it's some people just don't want to be thinking about it. They don't want to have to think about it. They're in another place. You know, they've got enough to think about, and they just want the recipe, you know. And I get that. I get that. I wish someone would give me a recipe every now and again. So, have a smashing day. Stay safe. Stay happy and creative. Lots of love to you. Thanks, Stuart, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bye-bye.